A new PvP season starts with 10.2, and new crafted gear will be available. Now, I'm not talking about work order gear. I'm talking about gear that you can sell directly on the auction house. The old gear was 379 in PvE and 424 in PvP, while the new gear is 412 item level in PvE and 463 item level in PvP. This green gear from the new season will be better than the best gear in the last season. This gear is great for alts, returning players, and people who want to be ready on day 1 of the new season. So today, we're going to look at 4 different ways that we can make gold knowing this information. Keep in mind that this is subject to change as this is still in the PTR. The first way to make gold is to farm the recipes. The recipes can be obtained from wins in PvP battles. If you look at the previous season, these recipes were available on patch day. This looks like a copy-paste of Season 1 and Season 2. Recipes are obtained the same way, so we can actually look at the data from last season to see that this can be very profitable. Under my exchange, the website that tracks the auction house for the current prices, but you can also look at the pricing history of items. Using this website, I made a spreadsheet with the values of the Season 2 recipes. I only tried the leatherworking recipes to save some time as this took a while. That being said, it gives a really good idea of how prices change over time. You can see the average price on the first day of the season was about 168,000 gold. After 1 week, the recipes were still roughly at 68,000 gold. Finally, after 1 month, they were still at about 14,000 gold. This spreadsheet is free and available in the description. Simply click on the link to see it. The second way is to craft the trinkets. You can craft 3 different trinkets with inscription. These are the only 3 recipes that you can get without doing any PvP. You can buy those recipes for 3 awakened iron each in Valdraken at this location right here. The third way to make gold is to craft the items from the recipes. Let's take a look at all of the recipes and their materials to see what the crafting costs look like. There is 16 recipes for leatherworking, 8 for mail armor, and 8 for leather armor, 9 recipes for tailoring, including the cloak, which is available to all characters, 4 engineering goggles recipes, which might not be worth doing as they can only be used by engineers, 8 blacksmithing recipes for plate users, 3 trinkets from inscription, and finally, the ring and neck can be crafted from jewel crafting. These crafting costs don't include resourcefulness. The resourcefulness stat gives you a chance at a refund on some of the initial materials. You will want to use a resourcefulness tool and a resourcefulness enchant when crafting these. For tailors, the rank 3 shimmering embroidery thread are very cheap and increase the potency of resourcefulness. It can be crafted or bought on the auction house. As far as skill, they require a total of 120 skill, which is the same as the previous 2 seasons. So if you can craft the gear from previous seasons at max rank, you'll be able to craft these as well. What I did for recipes on the Undermine Exchange, I also did for crafted gear. At the first day of the patch, the crafted gear averaged at about 23,000 gold. 1 week after the patch, the gear averaged 15,000 gold, and finally, 1 month into the patch, they were a little under 5,000 gold. Now, if you like spreadsheets, make sure to like this video and subscribe to the channel as I will do a lot more spreadsheet content. Now, there is a new factor coming in this patch. In Season 2, cross-realm trading was not there. If you have access to 2 accounts, it would be amazing to buy a recipe, craft a ton of items, and sell them on many different realms. That seems to be the most efficient way to do this. You buy each recipe once, and you can spread the crafts across every server. This is going to be very competitive, so make sure to have a lot of time available before investing all that gold into buying recipes. Now, looking at all these maths, we can make some speculation, which leads to our 4th way of making gold from this. Infurious bolts, alloys, scales, and hides are not default recipes from the trainer. These recipes can be purchased on the auction house. Since new crafters might come into the market, it could be good to buy all of these recipes from the auction house to flip them. Looking at the overall picture, many materials might go up in price. This is highly speculative, so take this with a grain of salt. Awakened iron is used in every single recipe, so the price might be very volatile in the next few weeks. Looking at the previous patch, we did see Awaken Ire go up in price. In March and most of April, Awaken Ire was about at 100 gold. About a week before the patch and a few weeks into the patch, the price was now above 200 gold. Over the summer and fall, it is now close to 350 gold. But wait, there is more. Looking at the materials needed for crafts, the amount of Awaken Ire increased from the Season 2 recipes. In the last patch, to craft all of the recipes, you would need 126 Awaken Ire. In 10.2, you will need 200 Awaken Ire, which is a 59% increase. I want to say again that this is highly speculative and this is still PTR content. Be very careful to not spend gold that you're not willing to lose. Now, if you want to shop for all of the materials involved in these crafts, I've made an auctionator's shopping list. Simply right-click this box and select Copy. Once an auctionator, go to the shopping window. Click on the Import button and press Ctrl-V on your keyboard. This will paste the text. Click on the Import button and you now have a shopping list for all of the items. These help support Undermined Exchange for the great free tool they did for us gold makers. You can support them on their Patreon. You can also support me on Patreon, which will give you some nice perks, like a TSM profile with 33 different operations and a tutorial on how to use it. You also get a spreadsheet for Dragonflight inscription for pigments and inks. For questions or for more content, you can find me on twitch.tv/Canada_TV. I stream gold making content 3 to 4 times a week, and I am currently doing a gathering challenge while leveling. Thanks to all of my supporters on Twitch and Patreon.